I am so excited to paint our little St. Patrick's box together. So let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is open up your box or have your mom help you get a piece of paper to lay down so that you can have a place to dab your paint onto. Then what I like to do is I separate all my pieces by color. So there are 4 colors in this kit. So I put my coins and my horseshoe in the gold pile. I put all of my clovers in a green pile. The back of the tic-tac-toe board and this part of the clover is going to be white. And then this is the only black color. So I'm going to put those over to the side so that they don't get in the way. And let's get ready. We'll do black first since there's not very much. So I'm just going to pour my paint right onto my cardboard box. Your paint comes inside of your little tubes. So you don't have to do that if you don't want to. The first thing you're going to do is take one of your wedges, dip it into the black paint, and then dab on a clean part of the box up and down so that you get rid of a lot of the gooey paint. And then you're just gonna lightly dab up and down on the tic-tac-toe cross. And dab, dip up and down, and then just dab up and down to paint. Now you're probably gonna need to do this a couple different times because as you can see as I'm painting, since I'm not dabbing super hard, there's some spots that you can still see. And that's okay, because if you cover it all in the first try, it's probably gonna get really messy and the paint is gonna drip down, and you don't wanna do that. So then I'm gonna wait for it to dry, but since I did such a light coat, it's already dry up here. This part is still a little bit wet, but this is already dry. So if yours is still wet, pause this video, but I'm going to do my second coat since mine is dry. If I ever go too fast, just hit pause and come back when you're ready. Okay. When you're happy with the coverage, as you can see, there's no more spots left, then I'm going to put this all the way over onto the side of my table so that I don't get any paint on it. Let's do our green next. So I'm just going to do all of the clovers. So we'll take another wedge, so one that is clean, and dab into your paint, dab up and down on your box, and then lightly dab up and down on your clovers. You're just going to use the same technique for every single piece. And see, since I'm doing a light coat, you can see that it's not covered very well, and that's okay, because I'll do it in the second coat. But that way, it's going to dry really fast if you're making it really light. And you should have 5 little clovers for your tic-tac-toe board. I think this will be really fun. You can play if you have siblings, or you can play with your mom and dad, or when you have friends over, you can play tic-tac-toe with them. Okay, now if your pieces are still wet, push pause, but if yours are like mine and they're already dry, then let's do our second coat. And this is a light coat too, but because we already had some paint on there, it's gonna cover all of it. Okay, so this one is completely done. So I'm going to set that off to the side. And then with each of these small clovers that I finish, I'm going to set them off to the side too. because I don't want to accidentally get other paint colors on them. Okay. Let's set that to the side. Now, should we do gold or white? Let's do white because there's only 2 pieces. I got a little bit of black paint on this somehow. I don't know how or when. Okay. So, oops, quite a bit. Okay, get another clean wedge, dip into the white, dab up and down. And this one is going to take a little bit longer because this is kind of a big surface to be painting. And you actually don't even need to paint your tic-tac-toe board white if you didn't want to. I just think that you could leave it the wood color, or you can paint it another color. White I felt was the best one just because you've got your cross, which is black, and you have your clovers that are green, and your lucky horseshoes that are gold. So that's why I'm painting mine white. But if you have another color at your house, like if you have pink or blue or orange, would look super cool, because orange is another really good St. Patrick's color. Okay, now we're gonna dab up and down, lightly paint this. This pattern on this clover is called chevron. I think it's kind of fun. If your mom does the tier tray kits, this clover would be awesome to add to her tier trays. If she doesn't, it's just a fun little St. Patrick's decoration you can keep in your room, or you can put it on your, like if you have a fireplace, you can put it on the mantle or just on a shelf. It makes a fun little reminder that it's St. Patrick's Day. You'll have to tell me if you guys are doing anything for St. Patrick's Day. Are you making leprechaun traps? Are you going to make sure that you wear green so you don't get pinched? What else? What else do you do on St. Patrick's? One year, my kids' school, all their food was green. They dyed it all green. I thought that was pretty fun. Okay. Remember to push pause if I'm going too fast for you. I try to go a little bit quicker so that these videos aren't really, really long. But then if I leave you behind, we don't want that. So just press pause. Okay. So now all of our white color is done. So now for the fun shimmery color, we'll do our gold coins. You can use these for your leprechaun trap because they're going to be so shiny. And our lucky horseshoes. Okay, so we're going to use the last wedge that we have. Some more paint started coming out of here because of the pressure. So I'm going to try to use that up so I don't waste it. Okay, so same thing. Dip it into your gold paint, dab up and down. Now you see this design that I etched into here? You don't want to cover that in paint, so it's really important to dab a lot of your excess paint off and then very, very lightly dab up and down. So if you don't push down really, really hard, you can see that the etch stays nice and dark and it doesn't fill up with paint. So it looks really nice. And I'm gonna make sure I come back and paint everything gold once or twice so that, or I mean 2, maybe 3 times, depending on making sure that I get it all covered, because we want these maximum shimmery and shiny. I bet these will be very tempting to a leprechaun. I would want them. Okay, almost done with our coins. Okay, and now for our horseshoes. Same technique. Lightly dab up and down. If you play the tic-tac-toe game, would you rather be lucky golden horseshoes or lucky 4-leaf clover? What do you think is luckiest? Okay, if you are still painting, press pause. Once you finish and you're ready for your second coat, you can push play again. I bet where most of you are right now, it's probably so cold, isn't it? Maybe it's March by now. It's still February right now, and we just got some snow last night, and it is freezing cold. I am definitely ready for spring and for sunshine and t-shirts and shorts without having to wear a coat outside. I should pay attention and make sure that you can see what I'm doing on the camera. I keep my head down painting and I don't pay attention. Okay, now I just have my lucky horseshoes left. So what you're going to want to do, even if the other ones only took 2 coats, make sure you let all of your pieces completely dry and then go back and look, especially with the gold one, because once it dries, if there's any gaps where you missed some of the wood, it's not going to be shiny. So you want it to be completely dry, and then look, and then if you see any spots that aren't shiny, you can just give them a few more dabs. Okay, so let's see. This one maybe on the corner a little bit more. And that one's perfect. This one has a little piece of my dog's hair in it. That's not going to catch a leprechaun. Okay. Once I just check it, see how I'm kind of shining it, like I'm using the sunshine in my window to move it back and forth, and that will show me if I've missed any pieces. Can you see how shiny that is? That's so exciting. Okay. Okay, and I think that my horseshoes are the same. You can do the same thing. Just kind of move them back and forth to see if you've missed any pieces, but mine look pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna press pause. I'm gonna go and grab some glue and we'll put everything together. Okay, this does not have too many pieces to glue, which is really nice. So get your mom and dad or mom or dad and ask them to help you with this part. So what you need to do, the only two pieces to glue are this clover and then your cross onto your tic-tac-toe. So you're gonna get your super glue and you're just gonna put a really thin layer onto the back. Oh, if you just did what I did and get a little bit too big of a blob, then I just press it down onto my, as you can see, onto the cardboard to get the excess super glue off so it doesn't smudge out everywhere. Then just line the edges up. You'll have a tiny gap on either side and then just press it down for like 5 to 10 seconds. If it feels like it's pretty flat, then 5 seconds is fine. If the wood is slightly warped, I would just make sure I hold it down till it's completely dry. And then this one's done. You don't want to glue these pieces down so that you can play tic-tac-toe with your friends. And then for this, you do not need to glue every single piece. I would just hit the edges. So like that part and then like maybe some of the fatter parts because the outer edge is super skinny. So I'll call that good. Just wherever it's easier to, and I'm gonna dab onto my cardboard box and then just line up your edges. And when you fill it with your finger that it's all nice and even, then press down, and this shouldn't be more than a few seconds. And that's it. You've got your clover, your tic-tac-toe, and your golden coins. Let me know if you catch a leopard.